in the communications office half the time, and then works with the foundation half the time. So it really gives us a bridge to where people are aware of all sides. And then for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Ralph Hayes, and I run the Education Foundation. And we raise money and build partnerships to give back to educators and students in the district. But again, we're really, really thankful for the representation tonight. I just asked if we need more copies because we had a really good turnout. I was scared because we said we were going to record it. Some people were like, let's skip out on the time meeting. But thank you for being here. We'll try to make it engaging, involved with you guys. And leading in from Ms. Passmore, one of the things that really jumped out quickly was using everyone in this room as a resource through this process. So there's so much knowledge in this room by you who have been involved with this. So just by a rough estimate of show of hands, who was the business partner liaison for your site last year and have been through the training stuff? Raising time, so I kind of getting. So looks like a little half the room basically have been a part of this, know, what the process is and everything. With us transitioning, we were very intentional that we don't want something that's working to be changed. But we also want to make sure we use tonight as an opportunity to get organic feedback from everyone in this room. So Ken's going to kind of run through some stuff in a second, but I'd love to maybe give away a couple of Chick-fil-A sandwiches right now. This Passmore had these great prizes that were left from convocation. So Kim, can you share one of these and let's see who our winner is. What we would like to do is, if this is your first time being a business partner liaison, I'd love just from your words of what your principal told you or what you've heard through the grapevine, what is your expectation of serving in this role? Like, what do you think is going to happen from doing this? Somebody wants a Chick-fil-A sandwich. No more. Right here. Okay, what school are you from? I'm sorry. Okay, awesome. And what have you kind of heard? What have you felt? Like, what do you are expecting to take from this and leading this role at your school?
Skills to be able to go out and access local communities for your school. Type of vendors that we've used. Actually, my most specials. To be able to help the kids get some more videos. To be able to help everyone take advantage of the local community and have them support the kids that they go to the restaurant. They get their pockets clean. Sell the local.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Sounds like you're already doing some of that. So having you in this role, hopefully will be a big benefit to school there. Anybody else want to share that's new in their role this year, or something that you think you're expecting to do in this role while you're there this year? Okay, that's okay. So we're going to run through the guide that you have there and cover some of the information that you have there. You want to run it and go through some of that?
So it's still not who I am. At the time I was doing talking points, my job before coming over to the school district is Chamber of Commerce, where I wrote everyone else's talking points, and I would legit say insert joke here because I'm not having to speak in Dutch, so I just want to still into the table while I walk around and with you guys who are now all my friends. Yeah, talking public is if I'm talking to my friends. Here we go. At the Chamber of Commerce, when I would come into the schools, part of the reason why I became friends with you guys was I kept hearing from the teachers that they didn't feel the support of the business community. Aren't sure how to connect with the business community. Aren't sure that they were going to be embraced. And what I could overwhelmingly tell them and tell you to this day is They want to be a part. They want to be a part of your schools. They want to help the teachers. They really want to be a part of education. So prior to the Chamber of Commerce, I did development, and what that means in the nonprofit world is these fundraising. So these fundraising and sponsorships, things like that. So a lot of the information in this guide is talking about how to steward a donor. That just means that throughout the course of the year, you're gonna make funds. So you have your kids make Christmas cards for your businesses, for your partners. You have an event, a fall festival, or a, chorus performance, or anything like that, invite them. That's some of the things that this will say. So, we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, what she mentioned a few minutes ago, is that it is a partnership. We want to try and make sure that these businesses who oftentimes are in your school are very small local businesses. Sometimes they're starting up, they've got 1 or 2 employees, but they're excited to give to, they want to be a part of it. I always talk with them to make sure that they understand that it's a partnership. I want you to get as much out of it as I can. So I will be very honest, I'll tell you what you can get, I'll tell you how many social media followers I have and what that exposure looks like. I'll tell you, I'm going to 200 people at Somerville Elementary Fall Festival. I'll tell you, I'm going to build that in the 6 because I'm going to see. So, just, being clear on your communication and letting them know that, the things that they can get out of it, the little bit of data. But don't be afraid to tell them to talk from your heart and let them know that the ways that they are going to be a part are going to affect the children's lives. Because it does. And it affects the teachers' lives and the things that they can donate. This summer nutrition, and they're bringing new teas on Tuesdays. To the teachers' lives, I'm telling you that caffeine is where it's at, on those days. So, for that they hear that part portion as well. You are ever or wanting something, some sort of document or file or anything like that, I am more than happy to help me create that, or help me talk to them, or I'll sit with you and make things. So you make the connection, and we will help you along. In here, you will see the district recognition calendar. I will list the dates. This is up to date as of today, but by all means, please feel free to check the website. That is accurate, up to date. The paper for that lists the business partner appreciation breakfast. So we'll do that in January. We combine it with Dr. Robbins. Encourage you to invite your business partners, big, small, anything like that. You feel like could use some money and can use some information. So right now, Robin stands up and gives some updates and things that happen with dispatchers and things that it's planning on for the upcoming year. And it really is great for all these business partners to see it, to hear it, and to be a breakthrough. We do it out at the and it really is great. I would encourage you to come and speak then with them. Let them network with you and walk around the room with them. Talk to them. Then they're out there coming for a contract to build one of these schools earlier. Your snoots, like I have more but bring them and let's use that day. Yes, please.
That day. So last year was the first day that we had that partnership between the breakfast and the address. And there will be some tweaks that's from last year. I think it may have run a little long. So that if you happen to get any pushback from your partners, oh, that was too long, I'm not going to be able to come this year. Just reassure them that we did make note of that. And they're going to make an effort to shorten that up, tighten that up. So that it'll be better.
of the next page in there talks about partners. I'll say the nonprofit work to are the three T's. And gives you their time, their talent, or their friends. It's not gonna be somebody that's giving you $1,000 donation for an event. It could be someone with steady volunteers with you. Start. They are. And treasury, time, talent, right, yeah, your three. I think that there, and we still don't have strict guidelines on what makes a business partner. You know, in some organizations, oh, you have got to give $200 or 5 hours of your time or this, that, and the other. We leave that at your discretion. You have a business that means donated 5 bales of pine straw. If they are a business partner to you, they are a business partner. So.
And I think that's really important for everyone in the room to recognize the different ways that you have contributions from your network. There are businesses that are close to Oak Brook Elementary School that would have no interest in being a business partner at Span Elementary School. But both of them have individuals and parents and local places there that would have a vested interest in where they are. So as you're doing that, like Kim said, think outside the box. Like the Pine Straw was a great example. Like, could they offer something that you guys need in your school garden? Could they do this? Really strategically thinking about what you have in your circle, and that's both geographical and through your network of the students. I was here for about a year, and we did this big survey for the district, and this punched me in the face so hard, it broke my heart. And until Kim came about a month ago, it's been just me, and I try to wave my hand and scream for the foundation as much as I can, but it's only so much, right? And we did this big survey, and we sent it out, and this person responded, and they said, as a parent and a business owner, I regret that I have never heard of the foundation. And it like killed me, right? So make sure that you are letting people know that you want to be a welcome home for them. And it doesn't have to be somebody who's writing a $5,000 check. Now, those are nice, don't get me wrong, but think about the things that, as she said, hey, this is something we can provide to our teachers as a benefit to them for grant. Hey, this is something we can do for beautification. I mean, tons of you have great examples of that. And I'm going to ask that in a little bit for some other prizes, but just be thinking about that, understanding that it has been intentional that there is no market threshold. There is no $250 level, $750 level. It's different. Site to site, based on what your specific needs are. I encourage you to have that strategic meeting with the leadership in your building to find out, hey, what do we need first off? And then looking at people and finding where you can hopefully align those puzzle pieces. And also making sure that they know the benefit of being a partner with you. Obviously, you can feed stuff up to Ms. Passmore and Kim and I so that we can get you some recognition on some of our channels, but let them know, hey, my school has 1,100 students in it, and I want to put your logo on something and put it in every student's book bag and send it home. That's a value to a small business. That matters to a small business. When you have so many companies, I know even within our schools, the other day, somebody was having an issue and Kona Ice was coming on Tuesday and Tiki's Ice was coming on Wednesday, right? And they're having like a snow cone battle, right? But understanding like, hey, what value are they giving to you? If you're giving that business, is there a way for you to strategically and positively leverage that to say, okay, if you want to be our sole primary distributor that we're going to use regularly, we want to make sure that we get to give away 50 free snow cones to low income kids every time you come, or whatever it is. But just really be thinking about that and understanding that that flexibility for you guys to be able to determine that is really in your hands. So don't just leave it out there and let everybody come in the door and say, oh, business partner, I'm gonna fill out the form at the beginning of the year and then never see you except when I'm dropping my kid off in the rider line. Let them know what you need. Let them make sure they're aware of what's going on in your building regularly. So when you're having parent nights and the district's having these other events, that you're calling on them and you're telling them, hey, we're getting you exposure. We want you to come lead a game at this parent night or do this, but understanding that that is something that is for you to determine how it's structured.
One of your most often from donors when I'm doing the campaign is I wasn't asked. So be specific. Sometimes, and, as a business person myself, as I'm reading the email and I see, oh, we need you. Unless you're asking me and you're asking me for something specific, I forgot. The second I read it, I moved out of the room, I forgot. But if she comes to me, if Lindsay comes to me and says, Kim, I know you're really great at designing this, and you're really great at asking so-and-so, and you know this person. Would you make this flyer for me and come sit down with me and make this ask? Yes. Tuesday at 9, let's go have coffee. That's different. So I say all that to say, yes, but sometimes it's a little bit nervous. But ask anyway, because a majority of the time, they want to help, they want to give you something. They cannot give you $1,000, be willing to be creative. I know you guys are way more creative than I am, but if you want to give me something, I will figure out how to do it. We had a guy yesterday, he was like, I really like to give so-and-so to teachers, and I'm like, okay, I really like to let you. Okay, what do you want from me? He's like, oh, I'd like some exposure. Done. Okay, hold on, let me think about this. We're past the event. I'm gonna think creative. I'm gonna find a way to give him that exposure so I can give those jelly roll tickets away. I'm gonna find a way to give this guy this so I can give this to these teachers. So creative, but make the ask. Say, I need you, I need your help. You can do it and generic one at first. Before I forget, I'm sure this is not in here and I don't have it written down somewhere, but make a generic ask in one of your newsletters or something about if you have any Boeing employees, parents, Boeing parents. And Walmart actually does this as well, because I got a parent in one of your schools come up to me the third Thursday, said he works at Walmart, they do the exact same thing that Boeing does. Let's say I'm a Boeing engineer.
You don't even have to be an engineer, you can be a Boeing force leader.
Correct. I
It could
would
be
propose-
anything.
My kid goes to Alston and I'm going to Alston for an hour to watch her chorus performance. If I log that into my Boeing portal that I was there for an hour, they will count that as volunteer service and they will cut a check to your school.
Now,
Boeing has, and Walmart does the same thing, it is a volunteer match program. So, I have the wording for that just because I sit on Somerville Elementary's PTA and we put it all out to the parents. Do you work for Boeing? Do you work for Walmart? We're gonna add that in. If you do, here are the steps you can take.
the interesting thing is it doesn't even have to be specific volunteer hours.
No,
They
if
can
you are in the
literally be
building,
there in a room with 100 parents at PTA night, and just sitting in the room as an audience
Yep.
member, and they're gonna count it. With that, Boeing's internal policy is there has to be a 501c3 tax ID number. I have a slideshow that specifically shows what it looks like from the employee number, or from the employee end, but when they search on their end, if they search Alston Middle School, it's not gonna come up, because Alston Middle School is not a 501c3. But if they search Dorchester Two Educational Foundation, and then they put in there, this is for Alston Middle School, and let's say it's $400, we give all $400 for school. We're not keeping a percentage of it or a cut of it or anything.
Just a pass.
The challenge is, we don't necessarily know, I don't have a way to grossly communicate with all of the parents who are Boeing parents, because I can't filter them in power school or anything like that. So other than randomly seeing people with a Boeing shirt on or something, there's no way for us to do it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We actually had a coach at one of the schools, and he coached for the entire season, and it was like a $5,000 check, because he had done so many hours. And he wasn't coaching to be a Boeing person, but he's a Boeing person who is involved in the community and in our schools. And to Boeing, they value their teammates being involved. So, yeah, that's definitely a great point to make sure you're leveraging that and utilizing that so that you get those dollars coming back to you. Some schools are really good about it. I know Fort Dorchester High School has a lot of robotics volunteers and parents who do that. And we do a lot of pass-through for them. Some schools I've never seen anything for it, but it's really connecting the dots, right? Just making sure people know when they're on the site, they literally just type Dorchester 2 Education Foundation. We're already an approved vendor. They do the hours and say, hey, we're for, Joseph High Elementary. And then when the funds drop, they just transfer them to the school. Yeah, the employee does it, not us. No, what happens is the employee has to go, they have a back-end portal for all their employees. And so they log that says, hey, I did hours on March 18th, and it was from 3 to 5 p.m. And then they have to search for approved nonprofits that they can serve for. We're already in the system as an approved nonprofit. So literally, when you start typing Dorchester, it automatically pops up, because I think we're the first one that starts with Dorchester. They click that, and then they say, hey, we were at Stan Elementary. And then after, it doesn't come, I think it comes once monthly, I basically just get an automatic email that says, hey, you've been deposited $724. Here's the distribution. It'll say like, Frank Smith, 3 hours at Austin Bailey. Don Jones, 12 hours at Knightsville. And then when I get that, that's when I know to send the funds to the appropriate schools. Yes, ma'am.
Question, you made me, but the plan, those plans are going to school to be used in certain account or anything?
I drop them to the principal, and it's up to the principal's discretion. Yeah, I drop them to the principal. We definitely can, and like I said, it's been something before, we're kind of like, how do we do it? And I think having you guys at the school level do it is better, because we've never wanted to do it globally, so.
Like newsletters, things like that.
Yeah.
We can put out.
We can definitely do that, and actually, like I said, I have a PowerPoint that shows from the employee in. I don't have access to that, so the reason that I have that is because I told a couple of the employees who were doing it, hey, can you screenshot that? Because I don't know what it looks like on your end. So I literally have, it's like 3 or 4 slides that show you, click here, type this, here. But we can definitely get that pushed out to this group especially. And then each of you can work with your school's leadership and just communication to determine how you want to disseminate it.
Yeah, what's the official name of this program? What's it called?
It's the Boeing Volunteer Program. I don't know.
It's a volunteer match, and I'll send you one. So in the follow-up email, and I'll send it next week sometime once Emmy is able to get this recording live, so everybody sees our beautiful faces. I'll send a follow-up email. I'll send Ralph's slides so they know what it looks like on their end. We wouldn't send those out until you had the people who were present. But I will also send the wording that we sent Somerville last year, maybe the year before. That generic wording, hey, you work at Boeing, hey, if so, this, that, and other. And you will need to add Walmart on it, because I did not know about Walmart until this gentleman came up to me at Third Thursday. And who was here? Is anybody here from Span? Okay, this gentleman is one of yours. He has a new 4K, maybe do you have a special education program for your kid? Yeah.
Maybe in the inclusion.
Okay, he is in one of those. I think inclusion, actually, because they are Knightsville family, but coming to you. It's the thing, I guess. And he stood there and they were lovely. And I was like, oh, you're a Span. I'm so excited, they're so sweet, I'm do all the things, they're so wonderful. And he's like, oh my gosh, we moved to the last Monday, I'm so happy for you to say that. And all I could think in the back of my head, well, I wasn't gonna say, oh man, you're in this school. But I was like, oh, you know, it's great, so cute and all the things, and so he said, do you know, do they do this? And I was like, yes, the answer is yes, I'd like to give us my answer is yes. But he works for that Walmart distribution. Yep, yes.
Correct. So Boeing gives a contribution per clock hour that they're there. Now, full transparency, I don't know if it's based off the employees' rate of pay or what it is, but some of those contributions are very generous. So I don't know if Boeing has like flat rates or if it's like, well, hey, I'm, an executive versus I'm this. I don't know if it's based off their salary or if it's just a flat rate. I typically just look at the hours and then drop them to the appropriate schools. But, yeah, they're very generous. Now, they also, and I would never push this, I have a couple of board members for the foundation who also do donations themselves. Boeing will also match that. So one of our board members, she has a child in Austin and a child in Somerville. And, say she donates $1,000, Boeing will match that and make it $2,000.
Well, there are a
Yeah,
ton of companies
yeah,
that
they'll do the match.
thanks.
But what we're talking about is more about volunteer time. So they'll pay, so the employee has to pay nothing for them to match. Boeing just wants to pay so that they're represented with the community as good stewards of the communities that they serve. Yes, ma'am.
Mercedes are all over the same.
I'm not familiar with their program already being set up, but now that we have Kim and have a little bit more bandwidth, we can definitely start making sure that we're engaging them in those ways better. Like we get funding every year from Bosch and funding every year from Volvo. But honestly, I've never investigated, hey, what's the process for your staff to get back?
Volvo and Mercedes do not, who we're actually meeting with next month, so we'll look into that. And any kind of partnership things that we come out, by all means. Ralph and I are gonna do, so he is wonderful about working room and all the things, so we will, definitely share any connections that we have and anything that we may, going forward, so we're gonna start hopefully sending out some communication, whether that's via email or parent square, I'm not sure yet, but just kind of look out, you guys specifically are just perfect because you're our voice in the schools. So just getting to share this information with you guys, and I want you to ask all the questions. I would love for you to all be professional development folks, whether that means a sponsorship or a donation or anything like that. But I want you to feel comfortable, making those asks and following up throughout the year. That's really what the appreciation and success pages talk about, so we won't really go over that. You guys can look over that, but how would you feel supported and how would you feel celebrated if you were the business owner? That's all I'm gonna say to me.
Sorry, is there any restrictions on the location of the business? So
No.
for instance, okay, so it doesn't matter if it's Berkeley County, Charleston County.
No, if they want to help you, yeah, absolutely. If they want to make the connection. We have business partners in North Carolina or Tennessee or anything like that. Some are doing it just because they have servants, philanthropy, hearts. And then others are doing it because they want the exposure or because First National Bank of Pennsylvania has purchased, they will be where the show meets is. In front of Walmart. So it's gonna be another bank, it's the Bank for Colorado. So, I just like to say, that bank came here because they wanted the exposure. So you have, companies relocate or they're just testing the waters and a lot of them just have, they have a heart for educators. So, my biggest suggestion is, your parents was first because I'm a business owner, then I want to help my kids' teachers first. And then, we have a lot of big companies, the big companies that want to help educators as a whole. And you may have some of that and they want to go through a 501c3. Send them to Ralph and I. We will funnel every bit of the funds right back to you. We're not trying to keep it. All we do all day is raise money to give back to you guys. We're not holding on to it. It's, we are a very, very lucky organization and a lucky district that the district funds my salary. So that way, when I get donations to come in, they're coming in to go right back out to you guys. And we do that for grants and all of the things. So if you have a big company that wants to make a big gift, but needs it to run through a 501c3 thing, then we are here for that. So, yeah.
Couple of quick things that I want to say. Jennifer's going to go through a few things in a few minutes about forms and kind of explain that. That's really important from your standpoint. And that's really about being intentional on the front. We're talking about looking at who your audience is, looking at who your parents, your local businesses are, finding your specific needs for your site. That really is talking about engaging with them. I know time is the most valuable thing that anybody in this room has. And I understand that you guys all have a tremendous amount of balls that you're juggling at one time. But the more communication and touch points you have with people, the more likely they are going to engage with you. I know it's hard, but something as simple as I was here for over a year and wasn't even copying certain people on the newsletter, but I should have been copying on it just to make sure they're seeing things. Let people know what's happening in your school. You guys are doing magic every day with those students. When I go into Newington and I see Jamie Engleton teach music, it is absolutely, it gives me chills. Like, it's amazing. Show people that. Make them, invite them to your school events, even if it has nothing to do with them as a partnership. As Kim said, have some specific asks, but also have some other things in your back pocket. Okay, well, you can't get us $750 when we run the rent the big movie screen. Well, we also need $250 for the cotton candy machine. So that would be great. We'd be happy to put you on there for that. So being intentional with that. And like Kim was saying, the appreciation thing really matters. There is absolutely zero substitute for a handwritten thank you card to one of your business partners who does something for you. Obviously, we want them at the state of the district breakfast where they're there for that. But you following up with them and saying, hey, I really appreciate what you did. It really allowed this to happen. Let me include a couple of pictures from the classroom where we did this with some of the kids. There's no way to measure the ROI that can bring back. So please just make sure you're trying to find that time or as many times as possible to show that appreciation and to make them feel a part of what you're doing. Again, even if it's not specifically what they're assisting with, but them knowing your school is excelling because of their engagement.
So just real quick before I hand it over to Jennifer to talk about that form.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I guess our need to have this capacity, but to make beautiful forms, these are private citizens.
Absolutely. We do have an RSVP number. So he's saying, at what level does a person constitute a business partner that we can shoot an invite to the appreciation breakfast? Because there's a number, right? If they're doing stuff at your school and you're valuing them, we're going to send the invites all at once. And we have a very tight RSVP list that we follow. But if they're if you're valuing them and you're saying, hey, they donated 20 uniforms, the question was, what if it's just a grandma in the community? She doesn't run a business, but she cares about what's happening in the school. She donates 20 uniforms. If that's of value to them, we certainly want them included in the communication we're sending out. We want them included. And when the invites go out, they pretty much go out globally, and then we fill when we hit the, I think it's right at 200.
They'll come out from you. I'll send you a save the date and you send that to, you see it referenced in here, to your partner in education. What that partner in education means for you is different from what it means from her, and that is okay.
Great question. These people do not have to work in college to vote. These
No,
people-
you'll see on the back, it'll also talk about window please. So in the past, we've kind of passed those out to whomever or whatnot. We are looking to add a little piece to that this year, so to pass out this window thing. They can either be one of your partners in education, and what that means for you is what that means for you, and that's wonderfully supported. But what we'd also like to do, so my other duties as assigned, is the recruitment and retention process. And we talk about being able to offer our teachers, whether they're coming new or are here, a page on our website where they can access discounts of places that, do things for educators or for DD2 staff, I should say. So Small Nutrition will offer 2% off on just Tuesday of the month. Or this on-the-go mobile oil change will come to your school and do it during the day while you are there. Or this dentist office will agree to stay open late because you get done at 4:30 and you cannot get there until 6. As comprehensive as we can list, but we'd like to create that. So if you have somebody in your dealings with that cannot give something specific to your school, we'd love to get some kind of discount or whatnot, and we want to give them a window free. That way, when you are walking into that business or you are walking into that boutique or you see that or whatnot, and you see that logo, you are maybe a little more apt to say, oh, did you do? It's my IT. But a lot of the times, teachers aren't calling to ask. Whether you forget or you're just too shy to ask. But if you see that claim,
That's a fun project because that was kind of thrown on Kim's plate. So Dr. Robbins actually started that.
other duties we have assigned.
And he tried to get me to do it, he tried to get somebody else across the hall to do it, he tried to get somebody up there to do it, so Kim's doing it,
That
so.
makes it sound like it's not exciting. It's so exciting. I do like it. I'm thrilled to be able to add that. But, I will get those things to you. Let me know in our communication back and forth, because again, we're friends now. How many? And I'm having those friendly information. I'm going to pass it over to the beautiful Miss Jennifer, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the forms that each of your websites have. I will send you the link. All right.
One other quick thing, take all the opportunity possible to celebrate your business partners. Any chance you get when they first come on board to when the event happens and you're celebrating them again, and just celebrate them on your social media and give them that added value, because it's a business. They're really looking for that. All right, so we got half who are probably familiar with our forms and half who are new to the forms. So I think you guys can see what I'm doing. Every school website, under the school tab, you have your business partner link. Every school is this way. We're on Knightsville Elementary, but your school looks exactly like this as well. And so the business partner form is right there on that page. It's important to fill out this form for so many different reasons. This creates an Excel spreadsheet, a master list for you of all your contact information for each one of your business partners. That's important to have because as people move on from the organization, those lists get lost. And then the person coming behind them, they're like, I don't have anything. I don't know who all our business partners are. I don't have their contact information. So if you put that information into these forms, it generates an Excel spreadsheet. It's beautiful. We never delete the information, so you have a historical record. And you can tell, oh, I'm in 24-25. So anything from July forward is my 24-25 school year. Those are my new business partners. So the other reason why it's important to use that list, say something legal pops up and, legal needs to access the information that was submitted. When they complete that business partner form, they're agreeing to be a partner for us. And so, if that information is there, we've got the specific contact, even if the original, business partner liaison has moved on, we have access to that information, and that could possibly help our legal department if they would. All right, so once you click the form, the front end of the form, which is what we just clicked, the front end is from the website. That is the front end of your form. That is where you submit the information. And this year we simplified it because I heard y'all from last year. And so it doesn't matter if you, the liaison, is submitting your business partner information, or if your business partner wants to get on the website and say, I want to be a business partner, and they can submit it. So either way, we're allowing that flexibility for you guys to do that. So that is a change from this year, either your business partner. And the very first thing is we want to know, are you a new business partner or are you a returning business partner? And that's valuable information. So all submissions are done from the website, which is the front end of the website. After the workshop, Kim is going to follow up with you all with a link to the back end of the website. And so when you get that link, it's going to take you to the back end of the form. And you can see that it has these options up here on the right and the left that you don't have when you're on the front end. See how there's no options at the top of the front end? So that's how you can tell real quickly whether you're on the front end of the form or the back end of the form. On the back end of the form, it's all for your data management. So this is where if you need to pull out and slice and dice your information however you need to, this is where you're going to do that. And if you need to, so we won't even do the responses here, but there is a QR code under the collect responses, this little icon right here in the middle. If you want to utilize that QR code in any of your promotions on social media, or poster at school, if you're having a particular night, or on a flyer, for folks to become a business partner, please utilize that QR code.
Are we getting access to the responses? I know I had 2 signups today, but I can't see.
Yes, so after this workshop, Kim will be sending you that link, and it's an internal link only. It's only for you all.
And I do want to say, the forms are very intentional, and Jennifer over time has created those. They are unique to each site. So your form at Knightsville is different than the form at River Oaks Middle School. So your data is going to be specific for your school. So hopefully it makes it a little more clean and easy to read and easy to follow for you. But yeah, you'll have access to where you will be able to log in, access that all the time. And I know you're going to continue, but one of the things that I did want to say, just with business partners also, we said there's a threshold for the amount to join. There's also, other than inviting for the RSVP to the breakfast, but there's no timeline. Don't send this out one time this month and then never touch it again for the rest of the year. Ask for new business partners continually. Make sure you're thanking the ones you have, but also just put it on your calendar that, hey, every quarter, we're going to reach out to all of our parents in our newsletter or our communications or whatever, that we're looking for new business partners. Because somebody who sees it this month, maybe they're overwhelmed right now because their job is like a teacher, or maybe they have a kindergartner and it's been crazy in August. But if you ask them again in December, maybe things will calm down. So just make sure you're using this as a tool multiple times throughout the year.
Right, and if you see on the upper left, this is where you'll see your responses. So your responses are here. I'm just going to click on it real quick. You open the results in Excel. This is my old computer. And then this is the information that you need. So if you have any questions about that, like I said, it's just an Excel spreadsheet. It'll allow you to have every contact. You can keep it as a historical document. And it's a great tool to have.
So it'll be an individual. That's, I will send you each of your individual links to that.
And then if you have all your content in one place, you know who to send all your RSVPs to. It just really simplifies your life to work out of that Excel document. And of course, you'll download it to your desktop and you'll probably date it, August, this is my August one for the end of August 30th. And then you'll do another download in maybe September. It's up to you, whether you do it once a week, every couple of weeks, that's up to you to design the way you want it.
And again, you can put all those, you can add a column that says in time, or, like I said, my town treasurer, volunteering, this person does X, Y, and Z, so.
So once you download that onto your desktop, you can customize it to the way that best fits you. Okay.
Okay, a couple things I'd like to just close on are some opportunities to get some feedback. Don't be shy. I gave away chicken sandwich earlier, and it's still sitting up here, so I've got some gift cards, some other goodies, but these questions are open to everybody, even if you were, the liaison at your school in the last year. But just thinking through tonight's conversation, I love the organic discussion with some of you asking questions. Can someone tell me someone that they have had at their school that they think is a unique partner before? Like I gave the example about the two snow cone guys, right? Like we've all got a snow cone partner. Anybody have a partner that they think nobody else has a partner of that type of business or industry or whatever they're giving to your school? Something unique and different? Yeah, okay, good. Don't be shy. We want to hear you on the video.
We will, our school is actually hard, and they offer all students subscribe lessons. Writing lessons and so they're all great those.
That is that is a fantastic example. Here you go, here's a Starbucks and a koozie. Can only give those out when it's adults. So that's good. Somebody else have something?
Yes, he does his cards for teachers when they get positive referrals.
Awesome.
That come throughout the staff, and this, TNT lighting education in our students, so it's.
Very cool.
Oh, we all do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Uh-oh, we got another one here.
Also, my mother was making connection to was with the education she was in, and she shared with everything, so I have a mention there, which she supplies very curious, fully she came to our close father, she stayed shop, here, stayed shop. She also supplied a food pantry, where we use a 68 connection and that she's investigating, off of the new cars.
That's great.
So
Now, pivoting that, we're hearing some different ideas, and I hope that's useful to some of you who have a garden, or like, so you can do that in school, right? It's such a cool idea, or fireworks. Somebody tell me something that they have done to show appreciation or value to a business partner in a creative way. Okay. Some way that's really creative, that you made your business partner be like, wow, we're thankful that we stand with Sandy the sea turtle.
We're some elementary on Main Street, we have our marquee work funds. So this last year, we didn't really launch this last January. We have a level contribution system that recognizes people that give us more money. And once they reach the highest part of that, their name goes on the marquee on Main Street. So.
It's time as well. You can have the time.
Our patrons are donated Chick-fil-A, our entire staff for all of those 13 work days and we were working. They want lunch, and then the church who donated that was $400. Things like that. So, we have found, because now I have people, because they see businesses out on that marquee, they're saying, how do we even get that marquee? Out there, I just want to see a lot of exposure, but y'all, everybody gets a marquee, don't they?
outside from the sport and every
I
school.
believe in that. You can nod, okay.
But that's been here.
Anybody else with a unique way to show appreciation to your business partners?
So we have a nice little pediatric dentistry right across the street, and they do an absolute ton for us. So one of the things we agree to is that if there's a dental emergency in our school and the parent doesn't have a dentist, we call them and they get the child in right away. So it's nice for the parents because it's like, well, if you want this and you don't have a dentist, they have no big for you in the next few hours, but also at the same time, it helps them because they have all of the children, whoever, they actually do field trips for our first graders, to the our first graders walk across the street, do over them.
That's awesome. Taking people there, that's great. Anybody have a, while you're sitting here thinking about your geographical networking circle or your parent networking circle, does anybody have a target partner that they have not engaged in the past? That as you're thinking, hey, this is a really unique partner that we want to engage with. Anybody have something like that? The horse thing is fantastic, but we have a farm, so we have horse lessons. Who's got something that's, oh, come on, don't be shy. I want to hear what's unique about this.
So again, I'm very good with that.
It's okay, we're all doing this together.
And now I think it's. Things like this are near dear to my heart. And something I was thinking about, that I think a lot of us might not in a certain situation is our special needs folks. And, so when, Kim mentioned, your teacher discounts, my brain went to our families with special needs, students in the schools. If you have a dentist who will stay open late to bring a special needs child in, that way they can have it to themselves, maybe.
Essentially.
Exactly, just those types of situations, and I have a third grader who's at Mikesville, and he is officially out of a mild, classroom setting, and in his first year, Jeanette was 4. And so that's been huge for us, but so that was kind of where my thought process would go, is not just our parents, our business partners, and locally our community or outskirts, but those that can potentially meet the needs or be creative with our special needs students as well.
One of the most interesting things about my job with the foundation, there's not a ton that I really have the authority to do in the district, but a lot of times I can help connect the dots, right? You know, and a lot of times people are just blind to the other side. So having that ability to connect the donor to someone in need or to make someone aware of something else is absolutely a very, very valuable resource. Two last things, and I'm not gonna give anything away for this, but I'm gonna give a challenge to this group because like I said, I know you guys are busy. Don't want it to be today because I know some of you are like super tech savvy and you've got your computers and phones out and you're gonna do it right now. After today, the first person that emails, Jennifer Passmore, myself, or Kim, and this could even be out Kim sends the email, but the first person that sends an organic, genuine question about their role as the business partner liaison, something that is for you. I'm gonna send you a gift card in the courier. And then, the first person who also sends a communication or a solicitation to a business partner for your school. Okay. It could be me, well, I mean. Just a second here. Okay, to me, it's around, so. One, a question that you have about the program, hey, can you do this, We had a great question recently. This task force done this for a long time. We lean into her expertise. Oh, what if we had somebody and they are a vape shop and they want to be a business partner? They want their name on the marquee in the front of the school and we set that. So whatever it is, something like that, something that's a question that you have and you reach out.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, we do absolutely have the right and the authority to determine which business partners suit us the best. If you have anything that you feel is questionable at all, we have a district attorney who is here all the time. So if there's ever anything, do not feel pressured or obligated or bullied.
But she sits next to the finance person who says, we will find a way to take their money. We may just not be able to put them on the market. Or probably not the logo. But we can be creative. To take their money.
Next thing, another gift card, is somebody that sends a solicitation or a communication to someone that you're trying to get your business, to be a business partner in this group. So if you copy me on it and send it, it's the first one I've seen from anybody, I'll put a gift card in the courier to your school for that. So two different ways for you to get something, and that's really just for you to hopefully keep it on your mind, make sure you guys are hopefully thinking about this, do all the other craziness. Hey, sometimes this is a great break. This Boone's a great example of this, because she's one of our amazing overachieving principals who does stuff all the time. But we didn't, right, somebody over here said, well, my principal, told me to come tonight, right? So just say, hey, you know what, I really need to take some time to go over my business development. But with that, when we're talking about being intentional, put 2 hours on your calendar once a month or something, so that you are having time to do that, so you are intentional that. Any specific questions, roles, needs, thoughts from this group? We definitely want you to feel comfortable and know you can reach out, but I certainly don't want somebody to be walking to the car and be like, oh, I didn't say anything about this. Yeah.
2 years ago when I started it, I met with them face to face. And my first question was, tell me what you see as a partnership.
Right.
And then they were able to say, this is how I feel like I can contribute. I learned a lot about those people, their businesses, but like really, they started the ideas of, oh, because we do this. I would have never thought.
And Jennifer's done a great job of formatting it. That's actually the reason why the forms are able to be filled out by you or by the person. Originally, the intent was for you to sit down, have a meeting face to face and do that. Over time, it's morphed to through COVID and other things to where the reality was people they just weren't meeting, going over this stuff. So we morphed it to where it's able to be done either way. But just like I said in the thank you cards earlier, there is no substitution for taking the time to sit down and listen to somebody as much as you were telling them what you need. So I think that's a great lesson for everybody in the room to take away. Any other? Yes, absolutely.
So we don't need any other forms other than that one. So my principal gave me these, but this is.
We actually have done away with those forms, so those are actually the last 3 pages of the liaison guide, and we are moving away from that.
Love it.
Yeah.
There was a way, not bombarded with email, but if you all give her something that's particularly a way that someone is thanking a business, that's always a struggle for me. It's like, what do we do with that? If you could share it with us, because I'd love to be able to hear more ways to thank people.
I think it's,
Like I said, we said, it's fun thing we did, and it was love, it's really like, and everything about it, and it was something they really did, like, for people to be able to see it. And the people, I mean, the people we presented it to, it would. But that was just the whole plan, but.
Jim Cole, real quick, Rocket, so I do want to say too, with, I was thinking of school, with Parent Square. Our new magic tool that everybody is an expert at all of the time. We will have the ability to make a peer group for this group specific, so that we have the opportunity to collaborate behind the scenes with this group, and hopefully, with Jennifer still assisting us some, and then with him being onboarded, we'll have a little bit more bandwidth to make sure we're trying to reach out for engagement amongst this group more, because I definitely don't want one school to be succeeding because they found the magic recipe and somebody else would feel like, I don't have the idea. So that's absolutely great point.
There's going to be yard signs for businesses to put in front of their business wherever they can instead of travel times. Part of safe elementary school or something like that. Because those are huge.
Awesome.
And like the responsibility of communicators. We have plans before we can start growing.
Make that into yours.
Yeah,
Make that a level.
well, it is, it's part, we're looking at a level system on top of like just additional supports. But yeah, we have some programs in the past.
I would say our part, just to really quickly, one of our partners is the UPS store, or the UPS stores, so if you can get one of them, make the signs, go in front of all the businesses, that's really a win-win.
So I have a question, because we are new to this, and I hear you talking about tiered levels. Can anybody share with us like your tiered levels so that we can know what is a good starting point?
My PTA president brought it to us. And, sorry, I said, and we met with it, is talking about it, and I'm more than happy to share. We have linked to the website, and I'll share, I'll send it, and what the website is. What the website is that we've looked at was like an example, and to where you can adjust the tiers, and we also wanted to use that like as an overall, that would also, in addition to this, there's often opportunities to support, like we're talking about things like fun run and stuff. So I'll send out whatever we raised.
Then you have to break, I can share in terms of their things.
Yeah, as stated, we'll try to have some more collaborative opportunities for you guys to share with each other, whether that's virtually, or through,
This to me, so if you, sorry, if you have one questions, I will come out to your school. I will sit with you, I will bring you coffee, I will give you my wealth, whatever knowledge that floats around between the swirls, I will share with you. So all of the documents and all the things. But we don't want to take up so much of your time, make you come sit over here and have all one's meeting. So the help you want, we can give it.
okay, last one, respect everybody. Go ahead. You're our friend.
How many middle schools do you have? Durham Middle School. Is it three of us? Okay.
Wait, just let you know.
So I was thinking, we just got sports back this year. And so my thought is going in there. Because everybody loves football, and everybody loves basketball, and everybody loves wrestling, and those are brand new back to us. So hopefully maybe we can get some support there too, and allow them to play there.
The only thing I would say with that is, I know it has been assigned athletic director, and those who make sure that you are speaking to them and collaborating, so that they're not trying to sell advertisements for the basketball team at $250, and then you're selling advertisements for the basketball team at $175, and you guys never talk. So just make sure if you're partnering with the athletics program. The foundation does that with the groups that we have in high school with the different stuff. It's a great avenue, but just make sure that you're very open and communicative with the appropriate parties in your building. Thanks everyone. Do I have a friend from Sires in here? Not you. Oh, cool. Yeah, you stood there. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Ms. Passmore and Ms. Hill, thank you so much. You say,